Stories and Threads. My name's Kate. Hello if you're new here. Welcome back if you're joining us again. And welcome to the last official vlog on our countdown to Christmas as we open my Book Grocers Fantasy Advent Calendar and read a chapter a day of the romance advent book, A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. It has been lots of fun. I cannot believe we're in the last 4 days in our countdown. I have had a lot of fun doing this every day, reading my chapter, finding out a new book, and I can't wait to see what today's is. So let's jump into the vlog, and at the end of this entire vlog, we're going to run through all of the books that we got through this whole process, have a bit of a look at what we think of the Advent calendar as a whole, and whether I think I would purchase it for myself again, like I did this year, or if I would make some changes and do something slightly different in the future. But I hope you've had a lovely countdown to Christmas yourself, and you're going to sit down, relax, grab a drink, and see what books we get this time. It is the 21st of December and we are up to the first of our last 4 books. So we've got this kind of white spotty paper for this one. This is a paperback. Let's get into it. I am super excited to see what we get. Again, hopefully we don't end up with a sequel because I think we've had enough sequels now. And I really want a book that I haven't read or don't own. So, which way? Let's rip from the front maybe. No, upside down. They're always upside down. What have we got? Oh, cool. The Starlight Air by Emily Howard. I haven't read this one. I do have this on my want to read list, which is awesome. Let's see what this one is about. It says, a bladesmith blessed by the stars, a prince with a dangerous secret, a god bound in shadows. When an invitation to King Zarek's palace arrives at Soraya Saab's forge, she thinks it's a mistake. Nobles might seek her skills as a bladesmith, but she has no qualifications as a potential bride for the crown prince. Still, she accepts the summons, if only to see the famed capital city her mother adored. But the royal court is nothing she could have imagined, and it's fraught with danger. It's not the crown prince, but his impossibly handsome, illegitimate brother, Roshan, who captures her interest. The invitation isn't a request to find a bride, but a hunt for the Star Keeper, a girl rumoured to hold the power of the stars in her blood. And across the city, unrest brews between the nobles and the rebel militia. When the rebels attack, Soraya and Roshan find themselves on the run, trying to deny their attraction. But Roshan is guarding a secret of his own, and with no control over the power stirring within her, Soraya has drawn the attention of a dark god, an immortal whose interest might be the biggest threat of all. It sounds really good. I have heard a few people not like this one as much, but I'm willing to give it a go and see what I think. I really like the cover. It's such a cool design. I love this size paperback. This is a B format paperback and my favorite size to own. So that's gonna look great on my shelf. So we'll put that with pudding. Before we open the book, I thought I'd just run through a couple of my own reading updates. I didn't put together a proper December TBR for the most part. We didn't play my game. I just wanted to read some Christmas romance books, which I have already managed to do a couple. Plus then just kind of mood read and catch up with some of the books that I haven't got to throughout the year. So I did finish 2 books yesterday, which I was very happy with. So I did finish Turns of Fate and quite enjoyed that one. And I also finished listening to the second in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which is Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and had a lot of fun with that. The audios for those are great, to the point where I have jumped straight into book 3, which is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. And I'm so far, again, really enjoying it. Such a different level this time in the dungeon, on trains and all kinds of stuff is going on. We have new party members. Princess Donut is still being awesome. And it's got a very interesting narration. This one, there's another narrator in there as well as Jeff, and it is different. I am still really enjoying it. It is going to be a lot of fun, and it's just such a good story to have on in the background while you're doing all kinds of other jobs. The other book that I would really like to start today is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This will probably be my last Christmas read before we get to Christmas, as there's only 4 days left. So hopefully I can knock this one out. The other one that I need to read, I just realized I didn't bring in the room. So let me go grab that and I will be right back. Sorry about that. The other one that I would like to really get started, because I only have till the 27th of December to finish this one by, and that is Never Ever After by Sue Lynn Tan. I already have it in my protective jacket because this is my Fairy Loop special edition, which has gorgeous end papers and sprayed edges that are divine. This artwork is just spectacular. So really looking forward to getting to this one. Now this I need to have done by the 27th of December because this is technically my new release for October for Heckhead. So I have 60 days to finish this by to be able to count it as my new release book. This is also going to double as my last buzzword challenge book for the word never in the title, which was the November challenge prompt, I think. And for that, I have to have it finished by the end of the year. So it works perfectly for both. I just need to start it and I haven't yet. So that is going to be what happens hopefully today, as well as a fair bit of shopping. I do have a fair bit of Christmas shopping I need to go get finished off. Not a huge amount really, but just a few presents that I definitely need to go pick up. The weather doesn't know that it's summer today. It is looking miserable outside. It's super cloudy. I have to have the overhead light on just to film this clip. Usually we would have more than enough natural light for 9:15 in the morning. In saying that, it's still going to be hopefully an awesome day. We'll get through those jobs and hopefully not stress myself out and give myself a little bit of breathing room before Thursday. All right, let's open our chapter of A Heart of Christmas. I'm saying A Heart of Christmas, A Heart for Christmas. See if I can get a middle. Definitely is working better if you keep it slightly closed. No, I did not get a middle. Did I manage to do that without ripping it? I think you did. So today we are starting on page 325 and we will be reading to page 337. I think I'll do that quickly now. I might make myself a coffee, sit down and knock out that chapter, and then I will get this day done. I don't know exactly which shopping centre I'm going to go to. If I go to Marion, it's going to be hectic. I think even my local one is going to be pretty busy as well as people wrap up their shopping, but we will see. Hopefully I can get it done. I will let you know how I go tomorrow. But I will pop in before I leave when I finish my chapter. Okay, in an attempt to get semi-ish decent light to read by without a huge amount of reflection behind me, I've come into the library to read my chapter. I've made my coffee. So we're going to knock this out, like I said, and then I'm going to head out to finish my Christmas shopping and hope that I am not out all day, because I do want to start those other books. I've got some other video stuff I'd like to get done, and I just want to relax a bit and not be on the go the whole day. Let's get this started and read chapter 21. Chapter 21. It was kind of a realization chapter. She has made some decisions. She's regretting her actions and dealing now with the consequences that she was an idiot, pretty much. The dialogue's just random. Yeah, I think that is what I'm struggling with. the dialogue between the characters and the way that they're talking to each other and how they're communicating. And it is just a teen easy romance, and I've got to kind of let some of that go and just enjoy the novelty of it all. I think this isn't high literature. I don't like high literature a lot of the time anyway. Yeah, it's still a lot of fun. I love opening the days, but only 3 chapters to go. It's insane. Anyway, I'll catch you a bit later. If not today, I will tell you how today goes tomorrow when we log in to open our next book. Hello, it is about 9:15 on Monday night on the 22nd. You may have noticed I did put my picture back up yesterday. Fingers crossed it will actually stay up on my wall this time, but we will see. Hopefully we don't have a super hot day before it kind of settles, and it should hopefully be okay. It's a fair bit later tonight that I am filming than I was originally expecting. I've just been kind of zoning out watching YouTube for a little while and yeah, just relaxing a bit. I did manage to start late yesterday, Never Ever After by Sue Lynn Tan, so I'm a little way into that now and I am enjoying it for the most part at the moment. It's a Cinderella kind of mash retelling with Chinese culture thrown in, so that's fairly interesting. It had a talking fish. I didn't know it was going to have a talking fish, so that was a little shocking in the second chapter, but intrigued as to what's actually going to happen, so I will be continuing on with that one. But we need to open our book. I am super intrigued what we're going to get, and we have actual Christmas wrapping paper this time, so that is exciting. So it is day 22. We've only got 3 left. Let's see what we've got. I really want to know and hope, as always, that we don't have a secret. I can't get into it. The Tapestry of Time by Kate Hartfield. Yeah, I think this is a sequel, but anyway. There's at least 2 other books on the back cover. From the Sunday Times bestselling author of the embroidered book comes a bold, brilliant tale of alternative history. Not really my cup of tea. It may be a standalone-ish. I will look into it before the end of this vlog, but we will read the back and see what it says. So it says, love, heroism and the supernatural collide in the midst of war. There's a tradition in the Sharp family that some possess the second sight, but is it superstition or true psychic power? Kit Sharp is in Paris working as an archivist, having inherited her father's fascination with the Bayeux tapestry. He believes that parts of the tapestry were made before 1066 and that it was a tool for prediction. The Nazis are also obsessed with the tapestry, convinced that it will aid them in their invasion of Britain. Ivy Sharp has joined the Special Operations Executive, the SOE, a secret unit set up to carry out espionage, sabotage and reconnaissance. Ivy is dropped into northern France on a special mission. With the war on a knife edge, the Sharp sisters face certain death. Can their courage and extrasensory gifts prevent the enemy from using the tapestry to bring about the devastating victory against the Allied forces? Doesn't really sound like one that is up my alley. Have you read this one? What did you think? Is it part of a series? Do you know? Like I said, I will have a bit of a look into it before we end the vlog, so hopefully I know one way or the other before then, but it'd be interesting if you have read it. What did you think of it? Let's open today's chapter, see how many pages I have to read tonight, and then hopefully I will try and get to those now because it's getting pretty late. My last day of work tomorrow before I get a little bit of a break, and I think I did, oh no, I missed a page. I was gonna say, I think I managed to get all the pages and then I didn't. Always one. It's definitely going back, oh no, I ripped it. I really need to stop talking too soon. It's like, it's definitely going better with me closing the book. No, it's not. Okay, so we're going to start tonight on 3:41 and we end on 3:53. So let's get to reading now, and hopefully it won't take me too long to get through that. And yeah, a little bit disappointed with today's book, but like I said, let me know what you think if you have read it or if it's one that was on your radar. Morning. It is the 23rd of December. Can you believe we are one day away? It's insane. Today is my last day of work before I have a few days off, which is awesome. So I think I get off until like the 2nd of January, which is great. But I couldn't wait till after work. I have a little bit of time now, not a huge amount, but I'm just so intrigued by the last 2 days books. This one is super chunky, and then I'm really hoping that the 24th is going to be awesome. But today we get to open the chunky striped parcel. Let's hope for a good one. I'm so intrigued what this is, and I'm just really crossing my fingers that we get a good one. Let's see. Go from the top today. And I can see that it's upside down, so I pull this way. We have Shadow Stitch by Carrie Thomas. Magic bound them together. Will the curse tear them apart? Okay, we're looking like maybe historically fantasy, possibly. It's a sequel. So we have another sequel. It says on the back, the spellbinding, much anticipated sequel to the Sunday Times bestseller, Threadneedle. Really? Okay, I haven't read Threadneedle. I haven't even heard of Threadneedle. I'll have to have a look into it. It is blurbed on the back by J. Christoph and Robert Hobb, which is interesting. I love the look of the cover, but again, it's another one that I can't read. So that is disappointing. I mean, I can read it if I get the previous one. But yes, it might also actually be the third. Threadneedle and the Head Witch are listed. So unless the Head Witch is a standalone, I'll have a bit of a look into that and we'll run through it a bit later in the vlog. But yeah, now that I've read that, I was getting intrigued and interested. So it may be one that I do actually end up reading, but I can't just read it now if I wanted to. So putting a look at that one. Hopefully tomorrow's is better. Let's open today's chapter and see how many pages we are reading later on. I definitely can't read it now. Didn't do too bad, I don't think. Did I get in the middle? We're right on that side. Do you know what? I think I might have. I did. Okay, so we are reading today from page 357 and we are going to page 368. So that will happen a bit later on. We'll have a bit of a chat. I might not give you my thoughts on the next chapter after I read it, and we'll wait and wrap the whole rest of the book up at the end because we're getting super close now. I hope everyone is eagerly wrapping up their last minute Christmas details, and I'll see you a bit later on after work. Hello, it is about 9:30. I have just been sitting here watching Amanda from Reading and Writing Life, I think her channel is called. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, the Reading and Writing Life. I quite enjoy her updates, all that stuff, and I've got a lot of inspiration for a lot of the stuff that I've wanted to do from her. So I quite enjoy watching her channel, and she's doing these giant lives. So I kind of just had it on in the background while I've been wrapping my Christmas presents, which I have just finished. And she started sprinting at the end of this update, and I was like, I haven't read my chapter yet. I need to do that. So I think I've only got about 3 minutes to the end of this sprint, and I know that I can pause it because I'm not watching it live. So that doesn't matter, but I just thought I should be reading in a sprint. I should be reading. So I'm gonna do that while I watch more of Amanda. But I just thought I'd share, I got the cutest little cat Christmas name tags. There was 4 different designs. This is just the one that's closest to me at the moment. Because of where I put my Christmas tree this year, it's kind of in the back corner. I don't think I'm gonna be able to put the presents underneath it. So at the moment, they're all over in a corner in a bag, ready to take to the different locations that I have to take most of them to tomorrow on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, we celebrate with my extended family on my mum's side. So I'll be at my sister's place, and then I'll stay there tomorrow night so that I can do Christmas morning with them, which has kind of become our tradition. My sister used to live with me for a couple of years, so it was just nice having them around on Christmas morning. And then after they had their daughter, I started either going there or depending where we were, just so that we were together on Christmas Day. So I will be doing that again. And then Christmas Day is at my house this year. So I've been kind of running around tonight just trying to figure out if I have remembered everything and all the fun stuff that comes with hosting. I think I have. I did pop to the shop, get a couple of last minute things a little bit earlier, so I'm hoping for the best. I have started my holidays as well, so technically I have the opportunity to go out tomorrow, maybe. Our Christmas Eve function doesn't start till after 5, but I have the NBN people coming tomorrow, which for anyone overseas is national broadband, so they control our internet, which is still not the best compared to what a lot of you have available, but it's all we've got to go with. So I am putting what is called fiber to the premises in tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea if they're going to be able to do it all in one day, if they're going to have to come out together, if it's actually going to hopefully have an effect, how easy it's going to be. My house, when I built it, is a steel framed house, and I found that it has complications or makes things harder sometimes when I'm going to do stuff. So all the electricity runs in a different direction through my walls than if it does if it's just a regular wood house. So yeah, we'll see how it complicates things. If it complicates things, I have no idea if it's going to have any issues at all. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers it doesn't, because I would really like for it to just go smoothly and me to have better internet where it doesn't buffer half the time when I am watching YouTube. That would be awesome. So that's my rambling as I try and figure out what else I have to do. I am happy that all my presents are wrapped. I hope I have something for everyone that I needed to buy for. I think I do. All the food is ready to go. I just have to make one thing. So last year I tried for the first time making a spinach and feta Christmas tree. I'll pop a picture of how it turned out next to me. So that was last year's attempt. I'm going to make the same thing and hope for the best, because I don't exactly remember how long I've got to put it in the oven. So that will be interesting, but that will be something that I will be attempting to do tomorrow after this vlog has been edited and uploaded, and you are hopefully already seeing it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I just got to find the screenshot I had of the temperature I need to put my oven on, but I'm sure it'll be okay. It was a big hit last year, so I'm hoping. And it's just easy because it's more like a pull apart thing, and it's just a little nibbly. And you can't really go wrong with spinach and feta, I don't think. Hopefully I won't make too much of a mess because my kitchen is currently clean and I would like to keep it that way before I attempt to cook our Christmas dinner on Thursday. So we have everyone coming for Christmas dinner. So we tend to do a roast still. So even though a lot of the time it's hot in Australia, my family, we just like a roast. So we will have either a proper turkey, or this year we're having a turkey roll. We'll have a ham, we'll have pork, we'll roast veggies. And then my thing that I added last year were pigs in blankets. We had them when we went to England, I think, for Christmas in 2022. And I was like, that can be my thing that I bring, because everyone tends to have a thing. I haven't found, we don't sell them in the shops here. They're not really a thing. My sister's managed to find some at Costco, though they're like fancy ones, but I'm just gonna make some plain ones. So I bought some little pork chipolatas and I've got the bacon, so I'll just wrap my own and hope for the best. So that's one of my contributions for Christmas Day. One that I really quite liked last year, and I like the idea of them, so I want to keep that going. And then hopefully it'll all go smoothly. We're not going to be eating Christmas Day this year until pretty late, so it's more like dinner than lunch. I think it'll be fun. We have family presents in my family where we buy one bigger gift for a person. So I only had to buy one present from the family this year, and then we put in a certain amount of money and it's a whole big thing. But it works really well. So we get a decent sized gift instead of lots of little things. We still do Christmas stockings, so I will have a Christmas stocking, and then me and my sisters put together one for our parents because they deserve a stocking too. All the presents are wrapped, and yeah, just really looking forward to it now. It's gonna be weird not having any animals in my house in the morning. I don't have to worry about someone coming over to look after, like feed Murphy on Christmas morning or make sure he's okay on Christmas Eve, which is kind of sad. In some ways of it easier, but also just sad. I am going to eventually get another cat, probably multiple, probably not until after my big trip that I've got coming up next year, because I don't want to have it here or any animal here for an extended period of time that I'm not going to get to interact and bond and be with it. So that's my current plan, but it does make the house kind of lonely still. It's just not the same. Still really missing Murphy, obviously. Still really missing Merlin. And that was 4 years ago that I lost him. So it'll be different, and it will just be something that I'll hopefully have to get used to. But I'll have lots of family around, so that will help. We have one more day, obviously, of this vlog to go where we'll open our last book. I'm really hoping for a good one, but I am going to watch the chatty bit of this sprint, and when sprint starts again, I am going to read this second to last chapter and see what happens. So I won't pop in and tell you what I'm thinking afterwards for this one. I think we'll wait now, and I'll just talk about the last 3 chapters in tomorrow's vlog. So hopefully I can film, I don't know how long these NBN people are going to be here. It said 4+ hours maybe, and that's got a huge time range on it, so I have no idea if I'm even going to be able to leave my house or when I'm going to be able to leave my house. That will be interesting. Hopefully I can get some editing done, get some other stuff started and sorted, but I'm gonna get to reading now, and I will see you, I'll chat to you again tomorrow when we open our last book and read our last chapter.
I know you can't hear what I'm hearing right now, but I find since Murphy passed away that there's so many more noises that maybe I had before and I just thought were him. But there is something probably making a noise outside, but it freaks me out. I don't like it. And it's probably just a bird or a bug or I don't know. The wind. I really don't like it. I can't see anything. But I can hear stuff and it just, oh. Okay. I'm gonna try and focus. Okay, we've made it. We are up to chapter 24. Tomorrow we'll open our last Advent calendar book, read our last chapter, and we'll run through what I think about both things in the end. We'll look at the books that we got in the Advent calendar. We'll discuss the book a little bit more and see if I think that the Advent calendar is worth purchasing, whether I'd get it again, whether I think you should get it, if you were thinking about getting it. Hopefully you have had a good day and are prepared for Christmas, and I will see you in the morning.
Good morning and Merry Christmas. We have made it to the 24th of December, which is insane. I can't believe it's here already. I feel fairly prepared. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that. We have had 23 days of books. We are on our last wrapped book. So this is today's 24th. I'm hoping to get a lot of my filming done before the NBN people come, but we'll see how I go. We'll read the last chapter and then I'm going to pop back and we'll run over all the books, the years they came out, whether they're sequels, not sequels, and whether I think this whole thing has been worth my money, and factor in the enjoyment of opening a book as well. But let's see what our last book is. I'm hoping this is a good one. It's the finale book. It's got to be, right? It is another paperback. I think I've gone into this maybe the wrong way. But again, we've got wrapping paper. So it goes this way. What did we get? A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley. I have a feeling this is at least in a series. I don't know if this series is connected, but there is another one on the back that is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And now that's the one I've heard of. I'm going to go have a look into this and see if they are standalones or interconnected series, or if it's just a straight up series. I'll read the back. So it says, Claudia Cunnington knows she's rough around the edges and her hot temper can get the best of her. So when she stops a demon attack one night, she's horrified to realize the man she saved is none other than the cold-hearted Astaroth. Astaroth is a legendary member of the Demon High Council, or at least he was, suffering from amnesia after being stripped of his immortality and banished to the mortal plane. Astaroth doesn't know why the demon named Moloch is after him, nor why the angry, hot in a terrifying way witch hates him so much. Claudia grudgingly agrees to help Astaroth find the witch who might be able to restore his memory, vowing that once Astaroth is cured, she'll kick his ass. But the more time she spends with the snarky yet utterly charming demon, the more she realizes she likes this new improved Astaroth, and maybe she doesn't want him to recover his memory after all. So, interesting. It's a very interesting cover. It kind of screams historical romance, but then it has a very modern day looking characters on the front. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it is one that you have to read in a series. I'm gonna go do a little bit of research and see what we can see. But I think that is another sequel. All right, Pudding, hold that for now. Let's open our last day of our romance book and see what happens. Can I open it without tearing it to pieces? No. I think I got a pretty crappy rip there. Did I get the middle? I think I actually did make the middle. So we're going to read from page 373 and then it ends on 384. I might sit down and read that now. I'll do a little bit of research about this last book and we'll come back and go over the whole thing. Okay, so I have finished A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. In the end, it was a saccharine sweet ending, like I knew it kind of would be. It all wraps up so perfectly in a nice little bow. Everyone ends up being super happy. It was sweet, it was nice, super easy to get through. I love the novelty of opening the chapter every day. I think that the decorations and the designs are really pretty. I wouldn't not do one of these again. I think they're great. It's not something that I would reread. It's not something I'm going to bring out every Christmas and do the same thing with, but it was a lot of fun. So that was A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. I think I'm probably going to give it 3 stars overall. Let's have a look now at the rest of the books from the Advent calendar and go over in a bit more detail what we thought of those. So first, Day 1, we got An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. This is book 2 in the Vampire Companion series. The first book is A Diary of Blood. I have been told by a viewer from my first vlog that she did read this without having read A Diary of Blood and didn't feel like she missed anything. So it's possible that I could read this one without having read A Diary of Blood, but this was our first book and our first sequel. For day 2, we had The Narrow Road Between Desires by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a novella set in the Kingkiller Chronicles. This paperback version came out in 2024. So you possibly could read this without having read the series, but I don't think generally you would with a novella. So there was that. For day 3, we got Moonstone by Laura Purcell. This is a standalone and this author's YA debut. That one's a really good addition, I think, to the box. For day 4, we got Warrior of the Wind by Suri Davies Akungboa.
I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering their name. This is book 2 in The Nameless Republic. This one originally came out in 2023. And another sequel. For day 5, we got The Principal Moments by Esme Jakimi Pearson. This is book 1 in the Order of Legend series. It came out in 2024. This one is a sci-fi time travel story. For day 6, we had The Ballad of Small Hope and Penroyal, turns out by Jodie Taylor. Turns out this one is the first in the series. I was thinking it was not, so that is good. So this is the first in the Small Hope and Penroyal series. This one came out in 2024. It is another time travel and science fiction book. For day 7, we got The Wolf by Leo Carew. This originally came out in 2018. So this series is fully out. It is a trilogy. This is the book 1 of the Under the Northern Sky. And I think this, though older, is a good addition to the box. It's going to give me a new author to try that I've never heard of before. So I'm intrigued to get to this one. Now they're all falling. Day 8, we got The Dance of Shadows by Rogba Payne. This is book 1 in the Song of the God Hunters series. Book 2 is set to come out in 2025, so that's a handy release. This one did come out in 2024, so I think this one is a good addition to the box. Day 9, we got The Wrath and the Dawn. This is book 1 in the Wrath and the Dawn series by Renee Adair. This is a duology retelling of 1001 Nights, which I haven't heard of. This originally came out in 2015, so this is an older duology and the second book is out. So you could fully read through the whole thing. So that is an interesting one and probably one I will give a go. Day 10, we got The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, which is book 2 of The Wheel of Time, which is a huge series. I already own and have read this book. This obviously is the TV show cover, but originally this book was published in 1991. This would be a good addition to the box if it had been book 1, I think, but we've got another sequel. Day 11, we got The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. This is a standalone. It's a sci-fi dystopian. This one originally came out in 2023. Day 12, we got The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This one is book 1 of a series. Book 2 and apparently book 3 of this series aren't currently out yet. However, this is set in the same world as A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, and I think you do possibly need to have read that series first. So I'm going to say this is an interconnected series. This one came out in 2023. Though possibly good if you'd already read the first series, I have not. I will have to wait a while if I do consider keeping this one before I'd be able to give it a go. Day 13, we got Wicked by Gregory Maguire. This is book 1 in the Wicked years, which has had a major resurgence due to the musical and the movie. Apparently though, this is nothing like either of those. It's not one that I was ever overly interested in giving a go. It is the first in a series. It isn't necessarily a bad addition to the box. This one came out in 1995. Day 14, we got A Sky of Emerald Stars by A.K. Mulford. This is book 2 in the Golden Court trilogy. Book 3 came out in November of 2025. So it is possibly all out now if it's going to stay just a trilogy. However, it's book 2. So this one was published in 2025. So we do have a new this year release in the box, but not one that we could read if we hadn't read the first one. Day 15, we got When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is book 1 in the Moonfall series. Book 2 is set to be released in April of 2026. I think that this is an awesome addition to this box. I already unfortunately own this book. However, I do think this one is a great pick. This one originally came out in 2024. Day 16, we got Darkness Returns by Raymond E. Feist. This is book 1 in the Dragon War saga. However, this book is an interconnected series. So this one joins together Fire main series with his giant Rift War saga. So I think if you were going to pick this up, you would have wanted to have read the rest of the other series. Whether you technically had to, I don't know, but I think it probably would be preferable. This one did come out in 2024. Raymond Feist is an author that I have read from before and I did really enjoy. I have read a lot of the Rift War saga, so I will be keeping this one and eventually hopefully giving it a go. But overall, I think it's not a bad addition to the book, though could mean a lot of reading if you hadn't read a lot of it already. Day 17, we got The Prince Without Sorrow by Mahatri Wujeskara, maybe? This is book 1 in the Obsidian Throne. Book 2 is set to be released in March of 2026. This one came out in 2025. I think this is an awesome addition to the box. It's exactly the kind of book you would want to be getting, that you could start a series fairly new. I unfortunately do already own a version of this, so it's probably not one that I'm going to keep, but one I am eager to try. Day 18, we got Immortal by Sue Lin Tan. I'm currently reading another Sue Lin Tan book, though not one that goes with this. This is possibly part of a series, though it is technically a standalone. It's not numbered within the series. It is in the same world as the Celestial Kingdom, which had at least 3 books within that. So I'm not entirely sure how interconnected it is. If someone knows, please let me know. This one did release in 2025. So if this is a standalone, I would say awesome. Like if it didn't matter if you hadn't read the other trilogy, I think that's an awesome addition to the box. If it does mean that you need to read the trilogy, probably not. So if you do know one way or the other, please leave it in the comments down below. I would love to know. But for the most part, I think this one is a good pick. For day 19, we got The Monsoon Rising by Thea Gorzon. This is book 2 in the Hurricane Wars series. So again, we've got a sequel. Book 3 to this trilogy, at least, is set to come out in October of 2026. So if you had read the Hurricane Wars, it'd be awesome. I haven't, so not the best. Would have preferred it wasn't a middle of a trilogy. This one was released in 2024. Day 20, we got Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. This is book 1 in the Villains of Law series. Book 2 was released in October of 2025. No info that I could see about book 3 yet, though I might just not have searched very well. This one did come out in 2024. This is an excellent pick for the box. One I am actually now really eager to read after reading the back of this and didn't originally have on my radar. So this is an excellent addition. Day 21, we had The Starlight Heir by Emily Howard. This is book 1 of the Starkeeper series. Book 2 is set to be released in March of 2026. So I think that this is a great addition to the box. This one came out in 2025. It's just a perfect choice, I think. Day 22, we had The Tapestry of Time by Kate Hartfield. This is a standalone. It's a historical fantasy, so not necessarily up my alley, but a good pick for the box. So I don't know about the last few days pick. This one came out in 2024. Could be interesting. Day 23, we had Shadow Stitch by Carrie Thomas. This is book 2 of The Language of Magic. The series also has 2 novellas in it as well. This one came out in 2024. It does sound intriguing. I may be enticed to pick up book 1, though I would have preferred that the box didn't have a sequel. And our day 24 book was A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley. This technically is book 2 of the Glimmer Falls series, though possibly could be read individually. It does have different characters to book 1. They are technically interconnected. So some of the characters that are in the first one do appear again in this one. So it's a series. And we've ended the box on a sequel. So that is disappointing. This one came out in 2023. Overall, we ended up with 7 sequels, 3 interconnected series. 6 of our books were released in 2023. 9 were released in 2024. 4 were released in 2025. And then we had a few individual older ones. So one from 2018, one from 2015, one from 1991, and one from 1995. There's a few in here that I would actually read and keep, but for the $190 that I paid and for the amount of sequels that I actually was given, I don't think that this is a box that I would get again. In saying that, I am wondering if I was to get the box next year, would I get more of that same series? Like, have you had this box before? Did you get book 1 in some of the ones where I've now got book 2? If you got it last year, I'd be super intrigued to know. I don't think it's something that I will get again. It was a lot of fun. I loved the opening a book a day. Whether I could figure out a way of doing that myself, I might look into for next year, because it is a lot of fun. Whether I'd be able to do 24 books though, I think it would add up fairly quickly. And in saying that, cost-wise, these worked out to I think about $7 something each, which you definitely, for the most part, can't buy a new book or even a book from a bookshop for less than $18 to $20 sometimes. Sometimes you will get them for $14 if you go to, say, somewhere like Big W. But for the most part, you're looking at least double the amount. Some of these were hardbacks. A few obviously were for 2025, which was awesome. But for the amount that I can't read, I don't think it is worth it. And also then for just the ones that I'm not necessarily interested in. Some of them I will give a go, even if they don't seem like they're gonna be for me. I'm gonna pop them into my game and just try them out. If I DNF them, that's fine. I can donate them to the library or a little library anywhere. So that is fine. I hope you have enjoyed this series. I've had a lot of fun counting down to Christmas, opening my advent calendars and making these videos. I can't believe that Christmas is tomorrow. It's insane. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and you get to spend time with family or friends and just do the things that bring you joy. Hopefully you will subscribe and join me for what is coming up. I've also linked down below my Goodreads, my Storygraph, and my Instagram if you'd like to come and follow me over on any of those. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, a really Happy New Year, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day. See ya.